Hello and welcome back to Real Estate Agent School. I am super honored to have Milton James and Nora Gomez with me today to talk all things real estate. They're going to drop some awesome knowledge bombs on us. They are in the Orlando market with Coldwell Banker. Thank you so much for joining me, guys.
No doubt. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, to start off the show, I want to jump in because you've had incredible success, and we're going to get into that, of course. But how did you jump upon real estate? How did you get here? What led you to be sitting in the chairs you are today?
Ladies first, please.
Oh, wow. You know what? I moved from Colombia. My background is architecture, so anything around real estate is very important to me. So the transition from customer service to real estate was very natural. I love I know it sounds like cliche, but I love to help people. I love to make dreams come true. And actually, that was my driving force in order to join real estate.
Okay, awesome.
Nice, nice. For me, it was my mom brought us from another country next to Colombia, a place called Guyana. She came here as an immigrant cleaning houses, and she achieved her American dream through real estate. And I saw her go from nothing cleaning houses to owning multiple properties, owning a title company, owning a real estate company, and my mom is just the biggest inspiration for me. So I just want to make her proud.
Wow, amazing. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you both the similar stories, it sounds like, coming from a different country and wanting to just build something for yourself, which is super exciting. And I'm sure that's a big um, why for you to push hard every single day and grind and make things happen. And so, tell me what your real estate journeys have looked like from becoming a new agent to where you are today. What is that kind of unfolded to be?
Nora.
Well, I think everything is your why you doing it. In my case, I was single mom in that time, and my big why was to be able to provide the best to my kids, and also at the same time be able to be with them. So that's I think is depends for the new agents. What is the reason you're doing this? I mean, it has to be a huge, strong why, and
Mhm.
that took me to educate myself, of course, and find the right partners and all every single transaction it teach you. So you become better and better, and as long you put the customer first and you provide customer service, the business is always gonna bring back to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. For me, it was just yeah, definitely um, looking at what a man and a human being can be successful in the American world, United States of America, and looking at the concept of an American dream. And I feel like it's very difficult to be poor in America. And it starts with having a poor mindset. And I saw people around me who had a poor mindset, and when we had the good fortune of going to Keller Williams, which is a great company, I saw the number one agent there, and someone told me how much he made, and I was like, I didn't think that was possible. And then when I went and shadowed him and learned what he did, I was like, you make that and you did this. All right, I'm gonna do this so I can make that. So for me, it was very simple. I wanted to be not poor and I wanted to be not average. And then I just saw that it took some basic things to achieve those goals. And when I finally made that happen, it was you want more. So that I just keep wanting more non-average lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you were that brand new agent shadowing that top producer at Keller Williams, what was the stuff that he was doing that you then were like, I'm going to go do that to make this amount of money? And what did your real estate transaction volume and business look like in the beginning?
Yeah, dude, thank you. I think Nora could explain that better than I can. Um,
No.
but for me, it was just he did a thing that most of us fear, in which there's a saying that once you get past the fear, you go to heaven or come into abundance. And he did what's called prospecting, and
Yep.
I saw that that was very scary to a lot of people. A lot of people warned me before I went into his office, be careful. You might you might see things that you never want to do. I'm like, okay. So then he showed me, gave me a preview of what prospecting was.
Okay, cool. Nor, what about what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was actually, I have to bring this up. Prospecting was introduced to me not too long ago.
Hmm.
Part of my business always came from relationship, and my level of thinking always been positive, being open to any business with anyone outside, talking to people. But the last 2 years, actually, I met Milton, and Milton introduced to me the prospecting side of the business, and it opened a huge, I mean, a different world for me. But I will say I was actually next to big producer as well in my other office, and I just listen. I just listen and learn, and I just see how competitive they were, and how much they wanted. So I just took that, and just my level of thinking was bigger and bigger, growing and growing. So I think it's okay to make mistakes because mistakes teach you, and the experience make you better. So.
Yeah, it's funny how it's the simple answers every single time of just having conversations and talking to people grows your business. It's kind of weird how that works. And so, what did prospecting look like for you, or what level of prospecting are you doing now still to this day? What methods are you utilizing?
Okay. In my case, database. I do call my database my sphere of influence. I'm still learning a lot of other techniques, but however, I'm very good with following up my clients and just checking to see if they have any real estate needs. It's a different type of perspective, but at the end, you always on the phone or trying to reach and talk to people.
Okay, so you're calling your database Milton. How about you? How did you build your business from a prospecting standpoint?
Yeah, thank you. So when I first got into real estate, I was working a regular job. I was working at Verizon Wireless selling cell phones.
Nice.
Retail hours, 12 hours a day. You would close the store one day and you'd get home at like 10:30 and you'd have to be there at 8:30, 9 o'clock the next day. So you were a slave to retail. So then my mom, who's a realtor, always told me, get into real estate, get into real estate. And as a kid who's what, 19, 20, I'm like, you know what? I don't need, I want to create my own path, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of my brother right now. He's in college and beautiful kid and 6'5", Greek god body, beautiful person. And he's looking for his path. So I was really right there trying to figure out what I'm doing in college. Then I got my first job on my own, working cell phone, retail slave hours. But then I kept every time I visit my mom, she had a big fat check on her table, and it was like staring at me, 12,000 just on the desk. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start at my own pace listening. And so she had these Buffini CDs. Brian
There you
Buffini, great
go.
coach. And I
Yep.
started listening to it on my 45-minute drive back and forth to work. I was, you know what, this stuff is pretty good. He talked about calling your database every month and
Hmm.
just leaving, just checking in, leaving voicemails, and then deleting them if they didn't. So, that was my first kind of taste of prospecting, just reaching out to the database. And I was just doing it, blindly, you know what I mean? Just naturally.
Yeah.
But then when I met this gentleman, Mark Ramey out of Orlando, great agent, he showed me that it was more of a tactical approach. This guy was in a closet changing his voice. He would be talking to like a lawyer sounding like an attorney. Then he'd be talking to some dude playing basketball sounding like him. So he was like
Wow.
a chameleon. So I'm like, wow, what is this? So then that's when I started, I got exposed to Buffini. Then Mark sent me to a superstar retreat, and that just I was in the back of a room blown away. I thought the people that were up front saying that they make millions of dollars, I was like, there's no way. This is fake. They're getting paid by Mike. And that was it. So that was the exposure.
Wow. So ever since then, are you still just calling database, or are you doing other type of cold calling? And has calls been your go-to ever since the beginning?
So as a team, Nora and I, we partnered up back in September, and her skill set is her database. She's an architect from Colombia. She builds property. She's a contractor. She's a lady, and I'm the opposite. I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a dude from Jersey. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. Nora is a nurturer. So we've combined forces. I hunt every day. I was coached by, obviously I'm with the Mike Ferry organization, and one of my Mike Ferry coaches, Steve, told me every day we have to leave the tribe to go hunt buffalo. And every time
Mm-hmm.
we find a buffalo, we our job is to bring it back to the tribe. So now we have a couple great assistants whose job is to skin the buffalo. My job is to hunt the buffalo. And then while I'm doing that, Nora is developing relationships with builders and people in her database, high-end people. And combining that, right now we've closed 50 transactions, 51 transactions on our team this year, and
Amazing.
a lot more to come. So I'm hunting the new stuff, and then she's nurturing her database.
Incredible. So are you using any type of resources like RedX, or are you just calling for sale by owners and stuff like that? What type of leads are you hunting? What buffalo are you going after?
So I would say we follow the Mike Ferry sales system. So,
Okay.
we call the expired listings the for sale by owners. We call a lot of database. We
Yeah.
call just listed, just sold around our listings. Like for example, Nora just listed a 50 unit um, new subdivision property in Daytona Beach, which is a great area that she'll tell you about.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so one of the things we do to market those aggressively is me and two other salespeople, we're proactively calling around that subdivision to find buyers for that builder.
Awesome. Smart. Very smart. So yeah, tell me about that. How did you land a client or deal like that?
Well, I think it's based on 13 years of hard work.
Sure.
Part of my biography is showing that I have construction background and knowledge in design. Actually, funny enough, they contact me. They
Oh,
contact me
amazing.
just to introduce me the community. When I went there, I noticed the need of extra help, and I offer myself, of course,
Yeah.
like we hunting. And I just put all the team, we put all our effort and with great customer service, working very hard because I love it, absolutely love it. And we actually finished listing a Sanford community here in North Orlando. And now the next one is going to be the Daytona Beach. It's beautiful. Um, we, they're going to go vertical probably in 2 weeks, the model home. So probably we're going to be releasing that community in a month. But I think as long as any agent is proactive, no matter what is your big skill, just follow that skill and doors will open for you.
Smart. Very smart. So it sounds like you complement each other very well, which is fantastic. And so what I would like to hear is how did you get to the point where you have these relationships, you have these assistants? What did growing that team look like? And when was it the point where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm at the point in my business where I need other help. I can't just do it by myself, or I want to partner up with somebody.
I want to say something. I didn't realize how much important was leverage. Milton and the system, actually my very system, teach us how to go to the next level.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things that I was lacking, and having a coach, no matter what coach you have, having some mentorship and the right coach for you, it will make you be better. So don't look that as a expense. Any coaching look as an investment, and that's actually came from this organization for me in my case.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a good student in school, but when it comes to making money, I pay attention. And one of the things I
Yeah.
realized was that the biggest students in the Mike Ferry organization, they have the best results. So I was like, all right, well, they have those results because I'm results oriented. Show me the baby. Um, being also an analytical, I was like, all right, so how did they do it? And let me learn everything well, let me know what they know so I can have what they have. This whole
Yeah.
concept of be to have. And so if I want to have that, then I'll do this, but first I have to be this guy. So
Hmm.
by going to the superstar retreats, which obviously Mike has one coming up soon, and by attending and by paying attention and by not texting in the back, I was able to really just study the Mike Ferry sales system. And one of the things Mike teaches us is to track our numbers.
Hmm.
And what happens when you track your numbers, you realize you have an income per hour, but it's not per hour, it's per hour prospected. So right now,
Yeah,
with my numbers being down, I'm about 650 an hour when I prospect. You know, that's a lot of money, right? You know, if you really
for
think
sure.
about that, Manhattan attorneys don't make that. So if you
Yeah.
look at a Manhattan attorney making $1,000 an hour, if you know, I've got guys that I know that are making $5,000 an hour. Mike Putnam up in DC, great mentor of mine, love him to death, makes $5,000 an hour. And you know, the question is, why would you do something that you could spend $20 an hour, $40 an hour by overpaying someone, you know, and letting them do that, which is that's their strength, versus you getting your dry cleaner, or you getting your car washed, or you doing your files. I mean, why not overpay someone? You know, I'm so proud to say that Nora and I, we have a fantastic assistant named Andrea Lovett, and she probably makes more than most realtors in the area, you know, and
Yeah.
we're very proud of that, and we want to keep her growing, and by by finding that need that where someone could do a better job, and but we can stay prospecting but also get the job done, right? So that's what
Yeah.
we learned from Mike.
No, that's awesome. And so break down your team for me then from a deal standpoint. Obviously, you're out hunting, you're getting more deals. Nora's nurturing relationships as well as getting more deals. But from your assistants, do you have buyer's agents or just transaction coordinators, or kind of who is your team built of?
Well, we're production based, so we believe that the biggest profit margin in real estate is listing property and selling property. You
Hmm.
know, so we're competing with these big teams in Orlando that, you know, they have 40, 50 people, and we're number two to them, for example. And you know, they're doing a
Yeah.
great job, different business model. So our model is I'm going to list and sell property, Nora's going to list and sell property,
Yeah.
right? And then around us, naturally, it'll grow into leverage. So we
Hmm.
hire based on need. You know, we don't believe in overstaffing or overpaying or having too many people. Nora and I are the best salespeople on the planet. And from that, we're going to find people to help the best salespeople on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people come and work for us and in our market, and when they think they can do it better, and we tell them, listen, now that you're no longer with us, our job is to take your food, take your money, take your babies, because it's a competitive business. And you know,
Yeah.
Nora hates when I say that, but the bottom line is we believe we're the best too, and from that, we'll just have staff to support us.
Okay. Yeah. And so you're, as of right now, how many assistants do you have? I know you mentioned one, but what does your staff currently look like?
We've got one superstar full-time assistant, and she has an assistant.
Okay, cool. So pretty much a dream team of four in a sense right now, where you have a assistant and then assistant to your assistant, which is helping with all of the follow up, all of the managerial side of the business while you guys are listing and selling property. Is that correct?
Yes, and we have an additional piece that Nora can tell you about.
Okay.
Additional piece. Um, what is the additional piece? We have Frank. Frank
We have
also just
Frank.
joined.
Yeah,
Yeah, he joined us. He's young gentleman with big dreams, hard
Okay.
worker, and he's pursuing to becoming a buyer's agent in the future. Of course,
Gotcha.
he's a hard worker. I love his energy. The same thing. We have the assistant that is our superstar as well. Plus the assistant that she works for marketing as well. So basically, it's the five of us. Yes.
yeah,
Five.
one
Okay.
full-time assistant, a part-time assistant that assists her, and then Frank, who used to be Nora's part-time assistant, became a salesperson.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, for a real estate agent listening to this, listening to a top producing team like you guys or partnership, wanting to get mentorship, break into a team, kind of how would you or what recommendations would you give that person to be that person ready to jump into a team like that?
I lost the question. My ADD
I
But
kicked in.
apologize.
Yeah.
Pretty much just if you're a brand new agent and wanting to join a high producing team to be able to get mentored while obviously providing value, what characteristics are you looking for in that type of person?
Hmm.
well, I will say minimum commitment,
Hmm.
attitude, good attitude, strong mindset, and be willing to be proactive to because this is a lot of people see just one part of the business, but behind the business, I mean, like Milton, he's been very humble, but he hunts, but he hands all day. Sometimes we are actually working to 7, 24 hours, Saturday, Sundays if we have to. We love to do it. So
Yeah.
whoever is join a team like ours, you have to be committed. Now, if the new agent is looking for mentorship, I think it's okay. Just find out the right team for you and just be open mind and hard work. I mean, just be proactive. Do something.
Yeah, okay. So just be committed and ready to work to be able to be successful,
Yes.
which
Yes,
is
it
awesome. And I totally agree with that. I think a lot of times real estate agents think getting into the business is more just, hey, I'm going to jump into this and be super successful because it's real estate. How hard can it be? When in reality, you get licensed and a real estate agent kind of gets slapped upside the head and is like, actually, this is super hard. And there takes a ton of time and effort to become successful, which is
Yes.
why it is more challenging and there's a lot of agents falling out of the business. And so, if you were to give advice to real estate agents right now that are new agents or wanting to get into the business, what would your top tips be for someone like that?
Hmm. Can I take that one, Mama?
Of course, please.
All right. So what she said earlier, commitment, we would look for something like a person who's committed to not being poor, like someone who wants to be a winner, someone a big thinker, someone who's super loyal. Like, when we have someone on the team, I pour everything into them, and my coaches have told me, don't tell them everything. I'd rather, there's a saying that the CFO says, what if we train them and they leave? But the CEO goes, what if we don't train them and they stay? See, I'd,
Yeah,
I'd rather
smart.
show you everything because I know that if whatever I show them, they're not willing to outwork me if they're competing
Yeah.
with me, right? We look for a good person, someone who's learning based, someone who's hungry, and we have this concept that we got from Ed Milet. It's so good. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, but the millionaires are skillionaires. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Everybody, or,
Yeah.
or, or said differently, everyone wants to be a king, but they're not willing to work like a slave. See,
Yeah.
if you're on my team, if you're on our team, when they come in, we're here. When they leave, we're here. Like everyone, when we get to two, three, four closings in a week, everyone starts clapping. Oh yeah, good job. But we don't celebrate. We're still hunting. We're still prospecting. We're still looking for the next deal. Because for me,
Yeah.
it's not about the money. It's about the next deal. It's about putting the deal together. Because if you really focus on the deal, the money disappears. Those ebbs and flows emotionally. When you have a bunch of money, people get real hot and high, and they go on vacation.
Hmm.
When we have a bunch of deals, we go into the office and keep prospecting. We have no deals. Like right now, I'm listing 10 a month, and the market's little swirly. You got to still keep prospecting. Do what got you there. So for a new agent, I would say join a great company. Coldwell Banker is a fantastic company. We have a program where we can mentor them. Obviously, Keller Williams is another great company. Remax, EXP, they're all good companies. But my mom owns a brokerage privately in Orlando. She has a great company. So join a
Hmm.
great company. Secondly, get a really good mentor. Find someone that you feel comfortable with, who's willing to open it up to you. See, we're an open book. Anyone comes in and asks me for advice, Nora had to tell me, listen, stop doing that. I give away information because I'm so happy with what Mike Ferry gave us. I'll just translate Mike's information. And then
Yeah.
third would be get a great coach. The Mike Ferry organization has been such a blessing in my life. I mean, Mike has created the most millionaire real estate agents, period. No one could argue that fact. No, there's no one else who has created more top agents than Mike Ferry. And then just be willing to work hard every day, you know? Like I always say, I'm willing to die at my desk. Like, you have to work like a slave to be king. Nelson Mandela gave up 30 years of his life to lead his people. And that's a third of an entire generation if you lived 100 years. I mean, you have to be willing to sacrifice to be able to, you have to be willing to do what no one will so you could have what no one won't. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, Nora. I could go all day on that one.
No, no, I would say, I mean, everything Milton said, the skills are very important. If you're a new agent, focus and educate yourself. Inject knowledge to you. Don't be that type of realtor that they just want to wait for a check just
The
like that.
Instagram realtor.
Yeah, no, 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 no. No, more than ever, actually.
I love those
Skills,
agents.
no, more than ever, skills are very, very important. And I will think in this environment, I think a team, being a team or having a mentorship is very crucial, very crucial. That way we can provide the best service to clients, and you as a realtor can grow. So don't feel afraid to ask questions, to ask for help. When Milton said that sometimes I say no to him, it's not because I don't want he share, because he shares a lot. I mean, I do the same thing. It's just because we are in a schedule. So it's just that accountability that, Milton, you have to be in a schedule. Okay, you have to.
Yeah,
It's everyone being in a team, and even though we are a small team, I mean, we all each other keep accountable to,
totally.
yeah, to achieve our goals and have goals. That's another thing for the new agents. Just put goals. Don't be
Yeah.
scared. Dream big. So
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
the vision boards behind you, which is cool. I'm all for that. And you really do have to put it up there and say, I'm gonna go out there and get after it and become who I know I can be. And
exactly.
it's just hard work. It really is. It comes down to just hard work and doing everything you can. So
well, if you look at it under the cross on our vision board, the difference between a boss and a boss is in the back being carted, a leader is at the front pulling the people. We're not the type of leader to inspire and motivate and tell them what to do. I was a terrible kid as a child. My mom always said, "Do what I say, not what I do." I think it's bad advice. See, a
yeah,
real estate agent joining a team, they have to be shown what to do, not told what to do. See, I
yeah,
have a friend of mine, I'm not going to say his name, he's in North Carolina, and he works on a team that the team leader comes in at 11 o'clock because his football team lost the day before. And I'm like, dude, you're working harder than the leader. See, people don't leave companies, they leave leaders,
yeah. It's
right?
true.
So my
That's
friend
for sure.
Sammy, I mean, he's a great agent, and you know, I love him to death. He's the hardest working person other than Nora and I on the East Coast. And so I can't wait for him to do 100 deals. So leaders versus bosses.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the advice alone, just and I mean, it's not groundbreaking, it's not earth-shattering, it's just simple hard work and just coming in and showing up every single day, which is really hard for some people to do, but it's really simple to figure out that really those are the tasks to take. And when you pair it with, hey, get around people that are like-minded, get a mentor that can teach you how to do the things that are simple but help you get those tasks done, that's when your business starts to transform. And so, any last comments that if you could tell yourself as a brand new agent what you know now, what would you say? What advice would you give?
Okay. What advice I will give to me is believe in you, Nora. 10 years ago, believe in you. Um, Mental strength is very, very important. I said everybody have positive mind. Surround yourself with positive people. Bring positive to this industry. A lot of people just like to talk about, oh, how bad, no, stop. We are the basis, the foundation of real estate. We cannot give that example to the public or to our peers. So I think that's, I would say, mindset and mental strength is very important. Just surround yourself to positive people. I mean, just go very far from negativity and just believe in yourself. No one else need to believe more than you, but you yourself. Okay, so
That's
that way
great
you can.
advice. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
Melton James, this is your.
Yeah, I'm just taking notes. I would say as a brand new agent, most of the time they're leaving a 9 to 5 job, correct?
Yep.
And the reason they're getting into real estate is because of the flexibility, right?
Hmm.
So I would say the first thing you want to do is prospect 9 to 5, follow a 9 to 5 schedule Monday through Friday, and just talk to people, reach out Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, even if it's voicemails to your database. When you're done with that group, find another group. There's, it's impossible to run out of numbers to call or people to talk to. There's 7
That's for
billion
sure.
people on the planet. You can look outside your window. All right, there's a subdivision, there's a church, there's a bunch of restaurants, there's a bunch of stores. There's
Yeah.
people there. Go talk to them, say hi, introduce yourself. So that's the first thing. My job is prospecting 8 hours to 10 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Take the weekends off. Secondly, when someone says, yeah, I'm thinking about something, follow up on every lead. They're either going to say, I'm doing it now, I'm doing it in a week, I'm doing it in a month, or I'm doing it next 90 days when the school ends, whatever their time frame is, just follow up. Third, I would say just be direct with people. I was calling for sale by owners earlier. I'm calling about the home for sale. I'd like your listing. Like, just tell people the truth. People appreciate that. Um, Next, I would say just be listing based. If you list property, buyers will find you. And then finally, when you get in front of a seller or a prospect or anyone, just tell people the truth. Don't lie. That's why people have pricing issues. They tell people lies. So I think once you do those things, what we learned from our coaches, Nora has a great coach, Maverick out of Hawaii. I have a great coach, Ira out of Las Vegas, and they teach us the same stuff. And so 13 years later, we're both learning that.
Amazing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic advice. I genuinely, I think if a brand new agent just listened to those handful of things you just shared and actually implemented it, they wouldn't really struggle at all. I mean, honestly, if they could just have conversations, follow up with those people, and then know that the business is never going to run out and it's all around us. That's the positivity that needs to get pushed back into the real estate market right now, where all other agents are like running around with their head cut off. How am I going to find a deal? When in reality, they're all around you if you're just putting in the work. And that's so telling of you guys where you're sitting here closing 51 deals in the first half of the year. Deals are obviously all around us if you're putting in that work, and obviously you guys are doing so. So thank you
Can I
so
add
much
one
for
more
joining.
thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
See that red book behind you over your right shoulder?
Real estate millionaire
I would read that thing 10, 20, 30 times. Don't
for
go build
sure.
a big team, but everything else in that book, spot on.
I
And then
agree.
Excellent.
when you're at 50 deals, 75 deals, then you start building your team. Well, that book right there is the Bible,
Follow it to a T and you'll never go astray. That's for sure.
100%. Yeah.
No, I love it. Any other last thoughts, Nora or Milton? Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you, Cameron, for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. If
Yeah, thank
anybody
you.
is looking for mentors, questions, or a Orlando realtor, definitely reach out to these two. They're obviously fantastic agents. They'll take care of you. And I appreciate you guys being on the Real Estate Agent Show, and we'll see you in the next episode.